Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive with us. This time, we're tackling that third P of the marketing mix, promotion. And it feels like the perfect next step after really getting into product and price the last two times.
It really does. I mean, now we get to really unpack how businesses actually manage to grab your attention.
Right, like how do they not just get you to notice a product, but actually even want it?
Well, that's where the strategy comes in because it's more than just those flashy ads. And a business really needs to make you aware of what they're even offering in the first place, persuade you to choose them, and even remind you to keep coming back. That's really the essence of promotion when you think about it.
Okay, so let's break down the toolbox. Our sources lay out these 5 key methods of promotion: advertising, public relations, sales promotion, and sponsorship.
And of course, social media.
Oh, right. Social media. Can't forget that one. In today's world, what do you think is really most effective?
Well, I mean, they all have their own strengths. Like advertising, it can really cast a wide net, but it's expensive. Think about Super Bowl commercials. Huge reach, memorable visuals, instant buzz.
Yeah.
But then you have public relations, which is all about building that positive image. It's less about that buy now push. It's more about cultivating trust over time.
So it's like the difference between a flashy billboard and a glowing article in your favorite magazine.
Exactly.
One grabs your attention immediately.
Yeah.
And then the other one kind of subtly builds confidence in that brand.
Right. And then there's sales promotion, which is all about that immediate incentive, those buy one, get one free deals, the limited time coupons, or you get a free gift with purchase. All those things make you feel like you're getting something extra.
I admit I'm easily swayed by a well-timed discount. Like I feel like I'm winning.
Of course, it's basic psychology. It creates that sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Makes the customer feel like they're getting a great deal.
All right, so then what about sponsorship? I always felt like that was a bit more subtle.
Yeah, so think of it as aligning your brand with an event or a cause to gain visibility and build positive associations. Like Coca-Cola sponsoring the Olympics, for example.
Oh, okay.
They're not directly selling you a Coke, but they're connecting their brand with the excitement and the global appeal of the games.
So it's less about the immediate sale, more about long-term brand building.
Precisely. And then finally, we have social media. It's a total game changer.
Right. It's become huge.
I know. It's like a direct line to customers, a space to build community. And it's a platform for literally everything from just sharing news to running contests to collaborating with influencers.
So it's like the ultimate multi-tool for promotion.
Mm-hmm.
But with so many different platforms and tactics, how does a company decide where to focus their efforts?
Well, that's where the strategic planning really comes in. I mean, they have to consider a bunch of key factors, starting with their budget. A small startup might rely heavily on organic social media, whereas a large corporation can afford primetime TV spots and, elaborate influencer campaigns.
So resources definitely play a role. What else do they need to think about?
Well, they have to keep a really close eye on the competition. So let's just say a competitor launches a massive discount campaign. A business might need to respond with a similar offer just to stay competitive.
So it's like chess. You're always anticipating your opponent's next move.
Exactly. And then there's just the nature of the product itself, like promoting a car, which
Right.
is this complex product with all these features, is going to be different from promoting chewing gum, where it's more about image and brand association.
Right, so a car company might put out those detailed videos
Exactly.
showcasing, safety features and performance. And a gum brand, on the other hand, might create a catchy jingle or sponsor a music festival, something with that fun-loving energy.
Right on. Then you also have the nature of the market. A local bakery might just focus on flyers and partnerships in the community, while a company like Apple, with that global presence, needs a strategy that includes international campaigns and messages that make sense for different cultures.
Okay, so it's all about reaching the right people in the right way, which leads us to the target market. It seems like that's really at the heart of it all.
Absolutely. Knowing your target audience, like their demographics, their interests, their needs, and even their media habits. I mean, it's essential. You wouldn't try to reach teenagers through newspaper ads or senior citizens through TikTok.
Yeah, definitely not. It's about aligning your message and the platform you choose with where your audience actually spends their time.
So how does all of this theory actually translate into real-world action?
Well, our sources offer a great case study. BrewBliss.
BrewBliss.
They sell these eco-friendly coffee pods and reusable cups, and they've really nailed their promotional strategy by using a blend of tactics.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about how BrewBliss is doing all of this.
Well, they use Instagram ads to target environmentally conscious consumers. They have these visually appealing images of their products, and they really highlight their sustainable practices. Okay, that makes sense. Given the visual nature of
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yeah.
and you can target specific interests there. What else are they doing?
Well, they also use sales promotions strategically, like offering discounts on reusable cups during Earth Day, for
It's
example.
smart.
Yeah, it's a way to connect their promotional activities with their core brand values.
I love that. It feels very authentic
Mm,
and consistent.
yeah. They also partner with influencers who share authentic reviews and align with their brand ethos. So they reach a younger, more digitally savvy audience who really trust those recommendations.
Ah, so they're tapping into that word of mouth marketing,
Yeah,
but in a more modern and digital way.
precisely. And to reinforce their commitment to sustainability, they sponsor local environmental events, so they gain visibility. And they align themselves with a cause that their target market really cares about.
So they've really thought this through, using that mix of online and offline strategies to reach their audience
Mm-hmm.
and reinforce their message.
Yeah, they're a great example of how to use all the different promotional methods and make them into a cohesive strategy. One that aligns with your goals and resonates with your audience.
BrewBliss is definitely a company to watch. But before we move on, it's important to remind our listeners why promotion is so crucial. It's not just about companies shouting about their products
No, definitely not.
for no reason.
Promotion has several really key objectives. Like it plays a big role in informing customers or even reminding them about a product, especially when launching something new.
Right.
Think about all the buzz around a new electric car or smartphone.
Yeah.
That's promotion in action, generating excitement and awareness.
So it's about making sure people know about the product
Yeah.
and understand its value. What are some other key objectives then?
Well, increasing sales is a big one, of course. Think about Black Friday sales. Those strategic discounts and those limited time offers, they're all designed to drive those purchases.
Ah, yes. The irresistible lure of a good deal always gets me.
And sometimes a company really needs to reposition itself or refresh its image. Promotion can be a really powerful tool for that. So imagine a soda company trying to appeal to a more health-conscious market. They might launch a campaign highlighting their new low-sugar options
Yeah.
or their use of all-natural ingredients.
So it's about shaving those perceptions
Uh-huh.
and aligning the brand with how consumer preferences are changing.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And then, of course, you can't forget the ultimate goal, persuading customers to actually buy. Think about all those free trials offered by streaming services. They're giving you a little taste of the experience, hoping that you'll love it enough to subscribe.
It's like offering a sneak peek behind the curtain.
Exactly. So we've covered those 5 methods, those factors that influence a company's choices, and even a real-world example with BrewBliss. Now let's actually zoom in on each method and break down the pros and cons.
Okay, so almost like a quick reference guide. Starting with advertising,
Mm-hmm.
we know it has a wide reach, and it can make a strong impact. But what are the downsides?
Well, cost is a big one. It can be super expensive,
Mm.
especially for smaller businesses. And measuring how effective it is can be really tricky. It's not always easy to directly link an ad campaign with increased sales.
That makes sense. What about public relations then? It seems great for building trust and credibility, but what are some limitations there?
Well, one of the main drawbacks is that you don't have a lot of control. You're relying on the media to portray your company in a favorable light.
Right.
And sometimes that story might not align with your intended message, or even take a negative turn.
So you're handing over that narrative, which can be a bit risky.
Exactly. Now let's look at sales promotions.
Yeah.
We know they're great for boosting those short-term sales, but are there potential downsides?
Like, is there a risk that those constant discounts might make customers think the product is less valuable?
That's a key concern, yeah.
Yeah.
If customers get used to seeing a product on sale all the time, they might not want to pay full price. And it can impact your profits if you're constantly cutting prices.
That's a good point. So what about sponsorships? They seem great for building awareness, but are there any trade-offs?
Well, sponsorships can be expensive, and it can be difficult to measure their direct impact on sales. You're basically investing in that brand association and hoping that it translates into increased customer loyalty or preference down the line.
So it's a bit of a gamble, hoping that positive association with that event rubs off on your brand.
Exactly. And finally, social media. It's relatively affordable, highly interactive, and you can really target your reach. But what are the challenges?
Well, it seems like it requires constant attention and effort. You can't just post something and then disappear for a week.
You're absolutely right. Building a strong social media presence takes time, resources, and that consistent effort. You have to engage with your audience, respond to comments, and stay on top of all the trends. And there's always the risk of negative feedback or even a social media crisis that could damage your reputation if you don't handle it properly.
It's a powerful tool, but it requires really careful planning and execution.
Absolutely. Ultimately, there's no perfect solution when it comes to promotion. It's about weighing the pros and cons of each method and choosing the approach that best aligns with your goals, budget, and your target audience.
Well, I feel like we've covered so much ground just in this first part of our deep dive. We've gone through the 5 key methods of promotion, examined the factors that influence those choices, and even broke down a real-world example with BrewBliss.
Yeah, it's been a great start, and we've just scratched the surface.
Well, I'm excited to dive even deeper into all those nuances of promotion in the next part of our deep dive. Stay tuned, folks.
It's really fascinating how promotion kind of taps into our psychology.
Yeah.
A well-crafted campaign can make us feel like we need a certain product to be happy or successful.
It's true. Sometimes I catch myself thinking, do I really need that new gadget?
Right.
Or am I just falling for their clever marketing?
That's why it's so important to understand these tactics. It helps us become more conscious consumers, making decisions based on what we really need rather than just giving in to those impulsive desires.
Yeah, it's like having a secret decoder ring for marketing.
Hmm.
But let's shift gears a bit and talk about the future of promotion. With the digital landscape always evolving, what trends should we be watching?
Well, one exciting area is personalized marketing. Advances in data analytics and AI are giving companies incredible insights into our preferences, even our behaviors and moods.
Wow.
Imagine receiving offers that are tailored specifically to you
Okay.
based on your past purchases, your social media activity, or even your location.
So it's like those targeted ads that we see online,
Mm-hmm.
but on a whole new level.
Yes.
That sounds incredibly convenient and a little unnerving.
Right?
What are the ethical implications of that level of personalization?
Well, that's a really important question because while it could definitely lead to a more efficient and enjoyable shopping experience, it also raises concerns about data privacy and manipulation. Striking that balance between personalization and respecting customer privacy, that's going to be key.
It's a tightrope walk, for sure. What other trends are shaping the future of promotion?
Well, interactive and immersive experiences are becoming more important. Things like augmented reality, virtual reality, and even gaming.
Okay.
Imagine trying on clothes virtually before you buy them,
Wow, yeah.
or taking a virtual tour of a hotel room before you book your vacation.
That sounds incredible. It's like
Yeah.
taking the guesswork out of online shopping
Exactly.
and making it more engaging. So how is gaming being used for promotion then?
Well, brands are partnering with popular video games to integrate their products or messages into the actual gameplay, so they can reach a really engaged audience in a context where they're already receptive to those interactive experiences.
It's like product placement, but way more immersive and interactive.
Mhm.
I can see how that's effective for targeting younger generations who spend so much time gaming.
Absolutely. And then there's the continued evolution of influencer marketing.
We talked about companies partnering with influencers, but how is that landscape changing?
Well, we're seeing a shift toward those micro-influencers, individuals with smaller but very engaged followings, often focused on a specific niche.
Okay.
And their recommendations can feel much more genuine and less like just straight up advertising.
It's like getting advice from a friend who really knows their stuff.
Exactly. Their credibility comes from their passion and expertise in that specific area.
Right.
And finally, I think we're going to continue to see a lot of growth in content marketing.
Can you talk a little more about that? What does content marketing look like for promotion?
Well, it's about creating valuable and engaging content like blogs, videos, podcasts, social media posts that offer information, education, or entertainment, and subtly position the company as a thought leader.
So it's less about interrupting people with ads and more about offering them something genuinely useful or interesting.
Precisely. And when it's done well, content marketing can build trust, establish authority, and nurture a loyal audience that sees the brand as a valuable resource.
It's like becoming a go-to expert in your field
Yeah.
and attracting customers through the power of knowledge.
Exactly. Ultimately, no matter how technology changes or what new platforms come up, the fundamentals of promotion stay the same. Understanding your target market, crafting a compelling message, and building authentic relationships will always be essential.
It's about making that genuine connection, offering something of value and earning trust rather than just chasing those quick sales.
Well said. And with that in mind, let's go back to our case study, BrewBliss.
Yeah,
They've really mastered the art of blending those fundamental principles with really innovative tactics.
they have. It's impressive how they've created a buzz around their products while staying true to their mission of sustainability.
You're right, they've clearly done their research. They understand their target market, and they've crafted a consistent brand message that connects with their audience's values.
And all of their promotional tactics, the Instagram ads, the influencer partnerships sponsoring local events, they all work together to reinforce their brand identity and connect with customers on so many levels.
It's really inspiring to see a company using promotion not just to sell products, but to actually promote a positive change in the world.
It's a good reminder that promotion, when it's done thoughtfully and ethically, can really be a force for good.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this second part of our deep dive into promotion, what are some key takeaways you want our listeners to remember?
Well, I think it's so important to be aware of the psychology behind promotion. Don't just be swayed by hype or empty promises. Look for companies that align with your values and offer products or services that actually add value to your life.
Excellent point. And remember, the power is ultimately with the consumer. We have the ability to choose what we buy, what we support, and what messages we let into our lives.
It's about being a conscious consumer, making informed choices, and supporting brands that resonate with our values and actually enhance our lives in a meaningful way. It's like we've been on this incredible journey, unpacking all these intricate layers of promotion. But if you had to pinpoint one thing, what would you say is like the most crucial element for a successful promotional strategy?
Well, if I had to pick just one, I'd say authenticity. I mean, in today's world, consumers can spot a fake marketing ploy from a mile away.
Yeah, they can.
They want genuineness, transparency, and to feel like the brand really gets them and what they care about.
So it's not enough to just shout your message really loud. You need to actually connect.
Exactly. It's all about building trust and that sense of shared values. When people feel like a brand really cares and that it aligns with what they believe in, well, they're more likely to become loyal customers and advocates.
It's like that saying, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So those promotional efforts really have to reflect the heart of the brand, not just, the features and benefits.
Well said. And I think that's what BrewBliss does so well. They've woven that commitment to sustainability into every part of their brand, and it shows in everything they do.
Right. They're not just selling coffee. They're promoting a whole lifestyle,
Yeah.
a commitment to making a difference.
Mhm.
And that's what really connects with their audience.
Absolutely. It reminds us that promotion at its core is about storytelling. It's
Yeah.
about creating a narrative that captures people's imagination, connects with their emotions, and inspires them to do something.
And in today's world where we're just bombarded with messages, it's those stories that stand out, the ones that feel real and meaningful.
It's true. So as we wrap up this deep dive into promotion, I encourage our listeners to be those discerning consumers, Pay attention to the messages you're getting, question the motives behind those campaigns, and support brands that really resonate with your values.
It's about taking control of our choices and making sure that what we buy reflects what we believe in and contributes to making the world a better place.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's been great exploring this with you.
Likewise. And a huge thank you to all our listeners for joining us on this deep dive into promotion. We hope you learned something new and feel empowered to navigate this crazy world of marketing with a more critical eye.
And a big shout out to Google Notebook LM for the audio and AI help in putting this together.
This episode was a PLC strategy production. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.